In direct answer to the well-liked Honda Rebel, the Boulevard S40 is a comparable vision of Americana that fulfills a similar function as the more conventional UJM Cruiser. The design follows a bespoke route with a front fender that has been partially hacked off, a front wheel that has been laced up, and blacked-out rims. A striking 35-degree slope at the front end, which pushes the front wheel well out from the frame, completes the design. The gasoline tank has a lot of similarities to the original 2-gallon Sportster tanks, but the flanges are different and detract from the overall vintage vibe of the tank. With a stadium pillion seat perched on a chopped-off rear fender and blacked-out fender supports, the saddle out back is nearly exactly like that of a Softail. The triple tree, handlebars, engine casings, fork sliders, jug, and handlebars are all finished in black to give the bike an even more unique appearance. The riding position is pleasant for average to short riders, although taller riders may feel a touch crowded with the mid-mounted foot controls and extendable riser. The seat height, at just 27.6 inches, is almost too friendly for small riders. The S40 is designed for the entry-level cruiser market with young riders in mind, just as the original Honda Rebel was made for a younger audience, such as riders who watch MTV. The Boulevard South 40 isn't specifically designed with women's cycling in mind, but its compact size, lightweight, and simple handling qualities make it a great introductory bike for women. Everything is held together by a classic double downtube cradle frame, which is complemented by a similarly straightforward double-sided swing arm in the yoke style. Nothing very novel to see, but because the purpose of this bike is to evoke a bygone era, a tried-and-true standard design is the best option. There are minimum ride quality adjustments, a modest 5.5 inches of travel at the front axle and 3.1 inches at the rear, and a straight fork that retains the front end without any changes. The rear shock is a short, coil-over shock with adjustable spring preload. Given the bike's low cost and compact size, this is to be anticipated and shouldn't be a deal-breaker. There is an antiquated drum brake at the back and hydraulic calipers and a single disc up front, making the brakes a mixed bag. Before you start complaining about the antiquated gear, keep in mind that the bike only weighs 381 pounds when wet, so binding power isn't really necessary, and the large drum hubs complement the vintage style. The S40 is small for a cruiser, measuring only 85.8 inches overall with a 58.3-inch wheelbase, so parking should not be an issue. Like the rest of the bike, the beating heart is an air-cooled thumper engine that keeps things nice and simple. With a square design and 94mm bore and stroke, the Jug is one of the biggest single-cylinder 4-stroke engines presently being produced, with a total displacement of 652 cc. It does, indeed, create a noticeable reap exhaust tone and cause some vibration across the spectrum, but none of those characteristics goes too far into the irritating territory. Everything seems that Suzuki believed they had everything perfected from the beginning. The air-fuel combination is metered by a Mikuni BS40 CV carburetor, same as the original in '86. Success, I suppose, is hard to disagree with because it keeps things straightforward and simple to maintain or fix. Furthermore, don't let anyone convince you otherwise, those old CV carburetors were fantastic. The engine's performance, which has been roughly constant since the start, is around 31 horsepower at 5,400 revolutions per minute and 37 pound-feet of torque at 3,400 revolutions per minute. Although these aren't very amazing figures, keep in mind that this bike weighs less than 400 pounds, and when you hold it firmly and rev it, you'll feel every ounce of power and torque.